Life tends to deliver its deepest lessons through experiences we barely notice at first. Sometimes it's not a lecture, not a book, not even a doctor's advice that stays with us, but the quiet example of a culture, a way of living that carries within its secrets of longevity. And if there's one place in the world that continues to puzzle researchers and inspire people across generations, it is Italy. Italians are not only known for their cuisine, their art, or their romantic language. They are also known for something far more profound: their ability to live longer, healthier, and more fulfilling lives compared to many other parts of the world, especially when compared to Americans. Interestingly, their secret to longevity isn't limited to what they eat or because of the properties found in their olive oil. The truth goes much deeper. It touches on how they view life itself. Before we dive into this, let me take you on a short scenario. Imagine two men in their 70s. One is sitting at a small table on a cobblestone street in a little Italian town. He's surrounded by neighbors who greet him as they pass, sipping on a glass of red wine. His face is marked by years, but his voice carries strength. Now picture another man of the same age, sitting in a large suburban home in the United States. He has all the modern comforts: television, central heating, a car in the driveway. Yet most days, he eats his meals alone. His children live far away, and the silence in the house is louder than any noise outside. Physically, he may be no different from the Italian man. But when you step into the fabric of their lives, you begin to see why one culture consistently outlives the other. This is the heart of what we're talking about today. Not miracle diets, not genetic luck, but the way life is designed, experienced, and valued. Why Italians live longer than Americans is not what most people think, and once you understand it, you'll see lessons that every elderly man can apply to his own life no matter where he lives. So, let's begin with the first truth. Italians live in rhythm with their environment. Their days are not rushed by the clock in the way modern Americans are driven. A man in Italy doesn't measure his value by how many tasks he checked off before noon. Instead, he accepts that life has a natural pace. Meals are taken slowly, conversations are not cut short, and work is not meant to consume every waking moment. This is not laziness, it's wisdom. Because when your entire culture respects slowness, your body is not constantly in a state of stress. And stress, more than any single food, is the silent killer that shortens lives. Americans often push themselves into exhaustion, thinking productivity equals purpose. Italians know better. Purpose is found in balance, in community, in savoring time rather than racing against it. Another secret lies in the simple rituals of food. Yes, the Mediterranean diet is praised worldwide, but what's rarely mentioned is not the ingredients themselves, but the way Italians eat them. A plate of pasta in Italy is not drowned in cream and served in oversized portions. It is modest, balanced, and accompanied by vegetables, olive oil, or a bit of fish. And it is eaten in company. Food in Italy is not fuel. It is a social anchor. Contrast that with the American way, where meals are often rushed in cars, at desks, or in front of a television. Eating alone while distracted strips food of its power to connect, to nourish not only the body but also the spirit. For older men especially, this difference is profound. Eating with family or friends strengthens bonds, and bonds are what keep a man alive long after his physical strength begins to fade. Then there is movement. Italians don't necessarily go to the gym every day. You will rarely find them obsessed with fitness trends. But if you watch them, especially in smaller towns, you'll notice something important. They walk everywhere. The piazza, the market, the neighbor's home, everything is within walking distance. And in those daily walks, in climbing stairs, in tending gardens, they build strength without even naming it exercise. Americans, on the other hand, often live in car-centered societies where walking is almost an inconvenience. They may sit for hours at work, then try to fix it all with a 1-hour workout. But the body is not designed for bursts of effort followed by long periods of inactivity. It is designed for steady movement, woven into everyday living. Italians embody this truth naturally, and their longevity reflects it. But perhaps the deepest reason Italians outlive Americans lies in the invisible threads of community and purpose. In America, independence is often glorified. Men are taught to build lives where they don't need anyone, where self-reliance is seen as strength. But what happens when old age comes? That independence can turn into isolation. In Italy, family ties remain strong. Elderly men are not left to face the evening of their lives alone. They are integrated into the daily flow of family. They have the opportunity to see their grandchildren. They share meals together. This makes them feel needed. And being needed is perhaps the greatest medicine of all. A man who feels his role still matters will live longer than a man who feels forgotten, no matter how advanced his healthcare may be. And speaking of healthcare, yes, Italy's universal system plays a role, but it is not the sole answer. Good healthcare helps, but what truly sustains longevity is the way Italians prevent illness through lifestyle and community, long before a doctor is needed. For elderly men watching this, the lesson is not to envy Italy but to adapt its spirit wherever you are. Create circles of community, even if family is far away. Share meals with friends. Walk more, stress less. Value slowness not as wasted time, but as life's truest rhythm. Let's talk about another overlooked element: joy. Italians take pleasure in small things, not as indulgence but as daily practice. Whether it is enjoying music in the square, savoring a gelato, or laughing with a neighbor, they find reasons to smile. Americans are taught to pursue happiness as if it were a goal to achieve someday. After retirement, after success, after earning enough. Italians live it daily, in modest ways. And joy, like stress, is a powerful force on the body. It lowers tension, strengthens the heart, and keeps the mind sharp. When you carry joy with you, you carry years with you. For elderly men, there's another layer of wisdom here. Italians do not fear aging the way Americans often do. In America, youth is glorified, and aging can feel like decline, almost like failure. But in Italy, age carries dignity. An older man is not invisible. He is respected, sought for advice, embraced in family gatherings. This cultural respect gives him strength. Because when society tells you that your later years are valuable, you live them with pride, not with resignation. All of these lessons paint a picture that goes beyond the stereotype of olive oil and wine. It's a philosophy of living. Italians live longer not because of a secret potion, but because they weave together rhythm, food, movement, community, joy, and respect for age into a way of life that sustains them. The question is not whether Americans can move to Italy to live longer, but whether they can learn from these values. So, what can an elderly man watching this take away? First, slow down. Life isn't about finishing first. It's about appreciating every step along the way. Secondly, eat with others, not just for nutrition but for connection. Third, walk daily, not as exercise, but as a natural part of your life. Fourth, remain part of a community, no matter how small, because isolation weakens both body and spirit. Fifth, find joy in small things instead of chasing grand illusions. And finally, embrace aging as a privilege, not a curse. Why Italians live longer than Americans is not what most think. It is not a trick, not a medical miracle. It is a lesson in living well, in structuring life in a way that honors time, family, and humanity. And if you can take even one of these lessons and weave it into your daily life, you'll see that longevity is not about adding years to your life, but about adding life to your years. If you've taken something valuable from this reflection, whether it's a reminder to slow down, to eat with others, or to find joy in the small things, then consider supporting this channel. Give this video a like, and subscribe so you don't miss more lessons on living well, growing wiser, and embracing the years ahead.